So we have a 2018 GT3. This is a manual, and it's pretty rare to get these in the manual, especially in Miami blue. So we're gonna do a pre-purchase inspection, and we're gonna go over a couple of the faults that we have without even scanning the car. It's got 21,700 miles, tire pressure, but then we have electrical parking brake service mode. So when we do a scan, we'll see what that's all about. We're gonna check and go through all these components. It's got aftermarket exhaust. Actually, I'm gonna go on a test drive, see how she drives. Okay, so we're gonna get in gear, go for a ride. Feels really good, really stable. Everything on this car is basically built for the track. Good feel. Let's test the suspension mode. Oh yeah, you can definitely feel the shake right away. All right, let's turn that off. Awesome feeling car. Just feels amazing. Very positive shifts. And it's pretty much a car that you hardly get to see with the manual. I just wish Porsche did more manuals back in 991.2 Air. What's nice is they do have a 992 version that is available in the manual, but still pretty rare. But definitely a blast to drive. So I'm gonna get back to the shop and do some scans right quick and see what we could come up with. So someone tried to convert it before to a GT3 RS bumper, and you got this little piece here. The bumper does look really nice on the car. There's a few little gaps. This car was tracked and was involved in a accident at some point. We got some touch up here. See, the gaps don't line up. And then there's this hood actually had a crease on it. A slight stick up, so it was straightened out, but on the inside you can actually see it looks pretty good, but it was painted all over. You can tell right here as well, there's some orange peel on this side. The brakes are pretty worn. I mean, the rotors, the lips, they're gonna need to get addressed pretty soon. We definitely have some cracks that are starting to form, which is pretty typical. We're gonna see if there's any edge cracks. But the actual pad, that's also getting pretty worn down. Same thing here for the rear. I mean, it would definitely have some wear on the rotors. Beautiful color. There's a couple things I noticed on the trunk as well. The deck lid mechanism has unbolted, so there's supposed to be a screw right here. When it locks in, it actually has a little retainer that keeps it in place. This one's unbolted. Now this bolt was actually unbolting as well. We screwed it back in, it almost fell out, so more than likely it fell on the bottom. We've seen that happen on RS cars as well. So yeah, this trunk's not holding, so that would need to be changed and replaced. The hardware just needs to be replaced. And then on the hood side, I'm gonna show where the little creases, if you know what you're looking at, you'll actually see the creases right there. Now that the sun is hitting them, you can actually see where it folded the hood. So yeah, it's important if you're buying one of these, you're aware that car was at the track and did experience an accident. That's why you can tell it's got another bumper installed on it. But if you're buying a car like this to enjoy and you're getting a good deal on it, you know, most guys buy them and just track them again. So it's not a bad thing at all. It just really depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for just putting this thing up in the garage and collecting it, just making it a garage queen, which is no fun, you know, you're gonna buy the most perfect car for collectability. But if it's a driver's car and you know you don't care about the gaps not lining up, slightly being off, just because you know it was an accident, the big gap right here, it's got a PPF as well installed on it. So and of course this is synced in a little bit, you know, that could be straightened out. Just the hinge itself of overspray that should have been removed when it was painted, but just cosmetic stuff. I mean, it is a car that's been hit, so, or wrapped around. I don't know what actually happened to it, but I know this car has been in an accident at the tracks. This being a manual, it does have a little bit of wear right here. The dashboard kind of peeling off. It's a full leather dash. This is vinyl, so no issues here. Some of them will lift right here, but this one doesn't have that issue. And then of course, it's not designed to seat anybody in the back. Typically you'd install a roll cage, and we're gonna go install this, put our Porsche computer to it, see what we get as far as the scan, and then we're gonna put it up on our lift and give it a full inspection. We're also gonna check the cylinders. We're gonna pull the spark plugs, so that'll be fun. Got a GT3 hooked up right now to our DC charger, so we're gonna scan it for codes. All right, a Porsche computer hooked up. Here's all our faults. These are active faults. These are not fully active. But here we have TPM, park and brake not calibrated, communication with TPM, and then of course satellite radio. So now we're gonna go to RPMs at 10,000 RPMs. Ignition over-revs, we got maximum engine speed reached 10,800 RPMs. So if we calculate over-revs, we got range 1 through 6, we got 375 ignitions. And then we have our operating hours when they occurred. So there we have it. And that happened at from 4 through 6 at 1900 hours. Our tachometer at 10,800. Number of ignitions 375 in range 6, and then of course the amount of hours that the range 6 occurred up to range 4, about 19,000, and 375 ignitions, that's about 125 revolutions. So someone's been really using this car on the track. The whole tub has been replaced on this GT3. It looks like they just replaced the whole thing. The best thing to do is remove the front bumper and really inspect it further. We're gonna do a couple things here. We're gonna inspect the cylinders. We're also gonna inspect underneath of the vehicle. So this is pretty much how it looks. Looks like some areas kind of bottomed out. So this area, this whole tub was replaced. You can see where they joined it in. And the original bumper was lizard green. Some wear and tear right here on the wheel liner, and then some here as well. The car's pretty low. Another look at the brakes. Yeah, typically if they're over 50% worn. We're about 30. Especially for the track, you can't have any brakes that are 50% or more worn. So it would be a good idea to replace all 4 of them if this vehicle gets tracked. So here's what it looks like underneath. This is a dry sump vehicle. This is the bottom sump section, and then we have our oil tank. So the GT3s, GT3 RSs, they're still going to be up to now and current. They're going to still have a real race car dry sump engine. So we're checking cylinder bores. Cylinder 1, PTWA coating. So this car's got 21,000 miles. It's pretty good shape. I mean, they got normal rust corrosion that they all have. This is being an iron coating type plasma arc, so that's gonna have some of that brown that's visible in here. That's pretty normal. On bank 2, cylinder 4, since go from bank to bank, cylinder 4 looks pretty good as well. Everything looks pretty normal. Cylinder 2, I think looks pretty good here as well. Liners look just fine. Cylinder 5, cylinder 3 also looks good. Rust freckles. Here's 6. Inside the GT3, we're getting slight misfires at idle. Here's our RCATs. That's what our fuel trim adaptation. We want to see it a little bit lower than that. It's pulling some fuel. Another test here. We got smooth running, all cylinders except for cylinder 5 and 4. Once in a while, we get a little high reading. Bank 2 and bank 1 intake deviation. We had misfires on cylinder 4. Now we're looking at smooth running and cylinder 5 and 4. Okay, we're gonna perform a pull right now. Completed our pre-purchase inspection. This vehicle has been tracked, has been wrecked. That was it. Of course, we thank you for watching.